Hello, kindergarten friends and families. Happy Thursday. I'm Miss Bruso, and today's lesson I'm going to be bringing to you is beginning sounds. And oftentimes in kindergarten, we think of beginning sounds as a beginning of the year skill. However, it's something that we work on throughout the year. We're still working on those beginning sounds. We start to work on those middle sounds and those ending sounds. But it really starts with those beginning sounds. So today's lesson that I'm going to bring to you is something that you can make your own. Depending upon your child's skill level, you can make it a little easier. Depending upon where they're at, you can make it a little bit more challenging, given that we're almost to the end of kindergarten and we're almost going into first grade. I can't believe it. So I'm just going to take you through the lesson sequence, and then I'm going to give you some ideas on how you can change it around, whether you have the materials printed out for you or whether you need to make your own. It's totally up to you on how you want to do it, okay? So the lesson itself is, and it has two different ways of doing it. So this would be the easier way, where we have the alphabet written in the correct order. So again, you can adapt it to where your child's needs are. So, you could take them through the sounds. So if you did A, B, B, C, K, D, D, E, F, G, G, H. Sometimes I give them that visual, especially at the beginning of kindergarten, for that H sound. So I'll have them take their hand and kind of put it in front of them and do the so have them feel that breath. And that becomes a little bit of a visual, and it also helps them to remember. So when we're asking them their letter sounds, they get to H and they're like, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, and I always have them pay attention to the way that their teeth, when they come down and it hits the bottom of their lip, I have them talk about the vibration that they can feel with that sound. W, Y, Z, okay? So we also focus on our vowel sounds, and we know that the vowel sounds can have two sounds. So they can be either the long vowel or the short vowel. So the long vowel sound is always when you hear the letters, it's like hearing the letter's name itself. So for A, it would be A or A, okay? All right. We would have E would be or E, okay? We have I, so like an igloo, we have the long I sound for ice cream, ice, I. Then we have our O, and O says ah or O, okay? Then we have our U, all right? And U would be or U, okay? All right? And then you can also talk about those sounds, those beginning sounds in words. So you would have like the soft G and the hard G, like go, all right? But then you would have a word like giraffe. And so that it's very confusing, where it has the J sound, but it starts with a G, all right? You can also talk about like in cereal, okay, the word cereal for C. So C would have that hard k sound, but when it's in a word like cereal, it has a S sound, all right? It can be very confusing for our kinders, okay, when we're trying to teach them how to sound out words, all right? But like we always tell them in the classroom, do your best guessed spelling, all right? So this is one way of doing it. So again, this would be like an easier way of doing it. A more difficult way to do it would be to have the letters in random order, and that's what we usually do in the classroom when we're asking them their letters and their letter sounds, because that way there, when they see a letter and it's not in the alphabet, they're going to be able to remember that, oh wow, I was sitting at Miss Bruso's table and I saw the letter K by itself, and I was able to figure out that this is the letter K. All right, so again, if you choose to use this option, all right, you would then go through the sounds, all right? So that's the first part of the activity, is the sound part. The second part of the activity is you are going to be able, whether you choose to use these pictures with this activity or not, it's totally up to you, all right? You might find some better pictures that are out there. You could find clip art on your computer once you've identified some words that start with a letter. You could then also, if you have a collection of magazines around the house that you're holding on to, you can go through the magazines and see if you can find pictures that start with each of these letters, and you can glue them into the box that matches the letter sound. All right? So those are the two options. All right? I've also, just to show you, okay? All right? I might include this in with the materials so that you can have this as a guide for those kids that need that visual to get started. So that's a good option too. You could also, as well, if you have index cards, you can do the letters on an index card and you can practice your letters and sounds that way as well. So if I had K, K, all right, and then you can say, oh, what are some words that you think might start with the letter K? And so you can come up with a list like kite, key, all right? Here's M, all right? Monkey, moon. Here we have R, robot, rock. All right, just to name a couple. We have ooh. So a lot of times even when I taught preschool, we were working on our letters and our sounds toward the end of preschool, we would talk about doing the touch cue. So it gives that attention to the formation of where the sound needs to be. And that's a lot of when we talk about blending our sounds and our words, is that our mouth has to change position. So your beginning sounds are going to be in a position, the middle sounds are going to change to typically those vowel sounds, and then your ending sound is going to be different as well. All right, so that's why I like to draw. I do a touch cue on my chin, and it kind of draws attention to that sound. All right, I chose W because a lot of times in K, even toward the end of the year, that W is often confused. They would confuse the W sound, which is wa, for the ya. So the Y and the W sound oftentimes gets confused both when we're giving the sound and also when we're doing our writing. I see that being confused a lot. So that was a letter that I chose to put in the pile of my index cards, okay? So if you do not have access to the printer, what I did was I made my own sheet right here. Okay, again, I don't have a ruler. I used a folder, so I made my straight lines as best as I could. I made my rows, all right, okay? And so here, then you can write a letter, just again, if you have the chart, or you can just randomly do your, you can just write the alphabet on a piece of paper, and then you could point to a letter, and as your child identifies that letter, you can write the letter in each of these boxes. So that way there you have the letter here, and you're ready to do the picture sort, or picture find, and glue it right in. Okay, so I hope you find today's lesson on beginning sounds helpful. There's lots of ways to do it. You might have ways of your own that you might find helpful, but it's just a guide for you to do. Again, we're always working on letters and sounds, and I'm sure you're seeing it as you're helping your child do their writing. So have a wonderful Thursday, and have a great day. Happy learning. Bye.